We want him to retire as per the constitution, but the government either wants to extend the tenure of the current Chief Justice after the clarification by the Supreme Court. I don't see the constitutional amendment, being passed by the by the Parliament and the Senate. So the people of Pakistan thinks Imran Khan is a victim, and his party is also a victim. Judges also realized that if we will not stand with the rule of law, we will not stand with the people who are victims, we will become irrelevant.
Pakistan is going through one of the most troubled times in the recent years, especially after the ousting of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf or Imran Khan's government. Since then, the political calm has not returned, and unfortunately, many challenges have been coming on the way of the progress of Pakistan, starting from the price hike, the political turmoil, the rumors of rigged elections of 8 February 2024, and then saga of the oppression and tyranny on the political workers, especially from Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. Today, yet again, we have seen the Supreme Court decision on the allocated reserve seats, which was a stumbling block in the completion of the Pakistan National Assembly. And we have seen the Supreme Court explaining its previous decision of 12th of July 2024 on the fate of these reserved seats.
To discuss the legal minutiae of this very important decision, I have Barrister Abuzar Salman. He's also barrister for PTI and Imran Khan.
Very warm welcome to you, Abuzar. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you.
Excellent. We have heard the explanation of the Supreme Court today by 8 judges, and they explained the decision of 12th July. What are the implications of this decision on the acquisition of seats by the PTI and other parties?
Actually, you need to understand what was the application which was filed by the Election Commission of Pakistan, because this order of the Supreme Court is as a consequence of the application which was filed by the Election Commission of Pakistan. So what happened is, after the announcement of the judgment by the Supreme Court of Pakistan, the ECP, instead of implementing or executing the judgment of the Supreme Court, it has employed different tactics to delay in implementation of the judgment. What it did is that it filed an application in the Supreme Court seeking clarification regarding the 41 MNAs of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf who had filed the certificate regarding party affiliation. So ECP was seeking clarification that since the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf has no party structure, how we can entertain such a certificate from the MNAs, because Barrister Gohar is not a chairman of the party. These kind of frivolous objections were raised by the Election Commission of Pakistan, and same were put forward before the Supreme Court of Pakistan. So what we did is that we filed a reply to that application in the Supreme Court also, and we showed the Supreme Court that this is an attempt to delay the implementation of the judgment of the Supreme Court, and also the Election Commission is misleading the Supreme Court, because in the correspondence between the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf and the Election Commission of Pakistan, the Election Commission has categorically, admitted that Barrister Gohar is the chairman of the party. Then the Supreme Court, after going through the documents that were provided by us and the reply which was filed by us, today the Supreme Court has announced the clarification, or you can also call it a judgment. And the Supreme Court has, in uncertain terms, categorically declared that the 41 MNAs who filed the party certificate and the affidavit, they are now Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf candidates. So technically now all the MNAs are from Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. So this means that First, the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf will get its it's the proportionate reserve seats share also in the National Assembly as well as the Senate, and moreover also in the provincial assemblies, because this order also explains the provincial assembly situation. And one more thing, which is more important, I guess, under the current circumstances, what's happening in Pakistan, because the government is hell bent upon introducing a constitutional amendment in order to compromise on the independence of judiciary, and either they want to extend the tenure of the current chief justice. As we all know, the current justice during our most the plethora of human rights violations took place. The rule of law was compromised, and his attitude towards Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, in particular, Imran Khan Saab, was not partial. It was biased. It was partial. Uh, it was discriminatory. Even I can say it was ex officio discriminatory. It was floating in the face of the record. So we want him to retire as per the constitution, but the government either wants to extend the tenure of the current chief justice because they're comfortable with it. They are comfortable with the situation that we can keep on violating the human rights, and the judiciary under the current chief justice will sit like a toothless tiger. Even it will facilitate the human rights violations. So we want the new chief justice to come as per the constitution, and they wanted to introduce a constitutional amendment where they wanted to provide extension to current chief justice, and they also want to introduce an amendment whereby they can transfer the judges of the high court, because there is a serious issue the government is facing in the Islamabad High Court. The judges of the Islamabad High Court have been very vocal. They wrote a letter to the Chief Justice that the intelligence agencies and establishment, they are interfering in the judicial process of the country. They are facing threats. They are facing coercion, and they are facing blackmail from the establishment and the intelligence agencies, and they need protection. I think the government wants to teach them a lesson why they want to stand, why they are standing with the rule of the law. They want to introduce an amendment whereby they can transfer judges to other areas of Pakistan. So it's a complete judicial package. I would call it a judicial disaster, or a package to control and intimidate and compromise the judges. And independence of judiciary is a salient feature of the Constitution of Pakistan. So I think any attack on the independence of judiciary will be considered as an attack on the democracy of Pakistan and the fundamental rights.
Jack, can you
So this
please
seems that
educate
the
our
current
audience?
plan has failed after the clarification by the Supreme Court. I don't see the constitutional amendment, being passed by the Supreme Court, by the Parliament and the Senate.
Okay, I just want to interject you there. Just educate us that this is the position of your party from the very beginning. At the time of elections, you thought that you deserved those reserved seats, which firstly, the eventually Supreme Court favored you on 12th of July, and now this is another interpretation. So it appeared a constitutional part of the state, which is the Election Commission, was purposely and deliberately trying to stop this particular order of the Supreme Court. The remarks and the comments in the decision, they are really disparaging, and that can have the legal, constitutional, and probably criminal kind of allegation against the Election Commission and its chairman. So how do you see those comments? They're coming very forceful. How do you see that? Is there any shift in the judicial mind?
Uh, you know, uh, uh, Let me say one thing very categorically. The Chief Election Commissioner, Sikandar Sultan Raja, I think if I have to choose one or three villains who have destroyed democracy in Pakistan, his name is among the top three villains of this, of the democratic history of Pakistan, because the way he conducted elections, how the elections were conducted. He facilitated pre-poll rigging, post-poll rigging, and every possible rigging that can be done. Sikandar Sultan Raja was he was a facilitator, and thereafter, the reserve seats, you say that we say that we deserve them. We don't say we deserve them. We say it's a right which the Constitution of Pakistan gives us. Article 51 of the Constitution says the reserve seats are given in proportion to the number of seats which you secure in the general election. So this is a constitutional right which cannot be taken away from us. And as far as the order is concerned, the conduct of election commission, as I was telling you, how biased the election commission is. It's a criminally biased, I will say. They are criminals, because they have destroyed democracy in the country in the election process. They have manipulated it. So it says that the conduct of election commission is questionable. So we as a party are now thinking and deliberating upon whether we should file a reference against the chief election commissioner, because these comments by the Supreme Court of Pakistan provide a good basis to institute or file a reference against the election commission and its members, because their conduct is questionable. The way they're trying to delay in implementation of the judgment of the Supreme Court is quite clear from the order of the court. So we have enough evidence or the record with us which can establish the malafides, the criminal negligence of the Election Commission of Pakistan, and how they're trying to defeat the administration of justice, and they want to delay the implementation of the order of the Supreme Court. And this also is a contempt of court. So if they further delay it, we will right away file a contempt of court petition in the Supreme Court seeking action against the members of the Election Commission and its chairman.
Okay. Oh, thank you for explaining that. Have you had any communique from the Election Commission? Have you heard any statement from the Election Commission after this decision? I know it's just a few hours earlier.
I have not so far, but I'm expecting election commission, where, because the way it is operating with impunity in the last few months, and it is, not implementing and ignoring the judgment of the Supreme Court. I think they will come up with some frivolous explanation and justification, which I think they are thinking away with it, but the way I can see the Supreme Court has written this order, I think election commission should and they must implement order of the Supreme Court. Otherwise, I can predict that election commission and its members will be in a lot of trouble in near future, because the Supreme Court now will not sit idle like a toothless tiger. The Supreme Court will take action if its orders are not implemented and taken in a light manner, the way Election Commission is doing it. But I don't think the court will tolerate it anymore.
As we all know, in Pakistan, there's nothing happens without the omnipotent establishment. Election Commission doesn't have that gall, basically, to have such audacious or kind of a behavior. It cannot happen. Now, there were rumors that Justice Faiz Isa is going to have an extension, and probably this entire saga is to justify that. I don't know whether there was a rumors or not, or whether this amendment that's coming up now was a part of that plan. But now it appears like a counter coup against the establishment drive, the decision of Supreme Court today, because that means that you definitely will have more seats, which should be counted from the day it all happened, retrospectively probably, or at least on 12th of July, or at least as of today. So that means any constitutional amendment cannot be made without the correct seating allocation is implemented. So do you think that there is a political saga, there is something going on between the judiciary and the establishment that we are unaware of?
Well, if we, even from the way the things are being operated, or the things are, unfolding for the past 2 years, we can see the Chief Justice of Pakistan and few judges of the higher judiciary and the government of the day and the establishment and the security agencies, they are on one side of the scale. And the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf the Constitution, the fundamental rights, the rule of law, and judges of the Supreme Court and the High Courts and lower judiciary, they are on the one side. So there are two set of judges. One set of judges who are standing with the oppressors, and there's one set of judges who are standing with those who are being oppressed, who are victims. So they're not actually standing with the victims, they're actually standing for the rule of law, which automatically leads to standing with the victims, because they want to protect the people whose rights are being violated, who will not be given fundamental right to fair trial, who are not being given the fundamental right to be treated in accordance with the law, and who are not being given the fundamental right to free speech or dignity. Their judges are protecting those rights. So the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf automatically becomes, automatically becomes a victim of the fundamental rights and all these violations. So the judges are standing with them. So this is, in nutshell, the summary. What the judges are doing, what the establishment is doing, what the government of the day is doing, what the judges who are standing with the rule of law and fundamental rights and the constitution are doing, and what the PTI is facing. So there is a complete conflict going on. I would say there is a silent revolution in the judiciary post 8th Feb, which has totally changed the scenario. Because what happened is, the judges, in my view, I may be wrong, judges have realized that the people of Pakistan, they stand with Imran Khan, majority of the people of Pakistan, because right now we have 90 seats, although the people gave us two-third majority. They were taken away from us through rigging. What happened on Form 47, misadventure and everything. So the judges also realize that the people of Pakistan expect them to do justice, because they think that Imran Khan is a victim. Imran Khan has been wronged. He was unlawfully, unconstitutionally removed from the office of the prime minister, and the way the state incarcerated him, the way the state gave it treated him in a manner which was inhumane, the way the state is prosecuting him in hundreds of cases. So the people of Pakistan thinks Imran Khan is a victim, and his party is also a victim. They are not the aggressors. They are the one who are facing the aggression of the state authorities. So the judges also realized that if we will not stand with the rule of law, we will not stand with the people who are victims, we will become irrelevant. People will stop respecting us. So from there on, there was a silent revolution which took place in the judiciary of Pakistan. It started with the letter of the six judges of the Islamabad High Court, and then the Lahore High Court judges also explained how they're facing, threats, and then the Balochistan High Court, Quetta High Court, then the lower court judges, the judge in Sargodha Abbas, who gave bails of 9th May. So there's a complete revolution. But the Chief Justice is standing on the opposite side of that revolution. He's not supporting his judges who are facing the brunt of the mighty security agencies and the government of the day. But one thing is good: the upcoming Chief Justice, his attitude, the way he is operating, I think he's standing with the Constitution and the fundamental rights. So I'm expecting good things from him. We don't expect favors from them. We just want them to do what the law of the country says, what the Constitution of the country says. So if the Constitution is upheld, the judiciary is independent, what will happen? Imran Khan will be out of the jail. His party will be able to, freely mobilize its supporters and workers. We can have demonstration, political gatherings, and everything in a free manner. The same way, in a free manner in a democratic country. This is what we expect if the judiciary is fully independent, and this is what we expect from the next Chief Justice. We want the current Chief Justice to retire and go, because his tenure is, not something to be proud of. It is just like, in my view, I think we used to say Justice Munir was the worst Chief Justice of Pakistan in the judicial history of Pakistan. But I think now we have a new name, the current Chief Justice. I think he will be remembered as the worst Chief Justice of Pakistan, because his tenure was the darkest for fundamental rights and human rights in history of Pakistan.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, you're alluding that there is a kind of a soft revolution taking place rather than a hard revolution in the streets. So the fundamental rights, and the most important one of them is the freedom of opinion and freedom of thought, that is being exercised within the pillars of state. And when we say state, we all know there's only one state, which is the military establishment or the chief of army staff position. So, should we say that this was a big defeat for the establishment, what happened today?
Well, I will not, determine these actions in terms of defeats or losses. What I will say is that it is the it is a victory of the Constitution. It is victory of the rule of law. It is victory of the fundamental rights. It is victory of the democracy. And even those people who you think may have lost it, I think they should also celebrate it, in my opinion, because at the end of the day, this is not my constitution. This is the constitution of the people of Pakistan. And whether you are from the armed forces, you are from the judiciary, you are from the police service, or you are a lawyer, a judge, or you are from the public, uh, all of us are the citizens of Pakistan, and it's our duty to protect and preserve the Constitution of Pakistan. So this is, in my view, the victory of the Constitution. If a party is getting reserve seats as per the proportion of its general seats, that is upholding the Constitution. That is upholding Article 51 of the Constitution. So, in my view, this is a victory of the rule of law. And those people who are not happy with it, they should also show, they should must have bigger hearts. They should accept what the Constitution says. They should not fall for their wishes. They should not fall for their desires, and not their whims. They should think what the Constitution is says, and they should respect that. So this is, a victory of the Constitution in my. And there is a long battle ahead, by the way. There are various other complications which will arise now because the government is not ready to give up, not respect the Constitution.
Well, a small success is still a success. So that's how we say. And
Yes.
at the end of the day, if we follow the rule of law,
So they say
fairness,
victory
equality,
is
and
not won in
equality, which were the
miles.
fundamentals of
They say
modern revolution, I think that is
no,
how
they
we look
say
into.
they say victory is not won in miles; it is won in inches. So it's a small battle won. So and then there is another battle now coming up.
Definitely. So we have seen that the PTI and workers and especially sympathizers, including their solicitor and barristers, they underwent a huge amount of stress, tyranny, and oppression by the police and the law enforcement agencies. Did you personally have suffered some of these atrocities that your other colleagues have?
I think almost everyone in PTI who has stood with Imran Khan post 9th May in particular has faced every kind of what how should I describe it? Has faced almost everything, which no one should face in normal circumstances. So it was difficult. It was exacting, and it was also, very uncertain, unpredictable, because you were not aware of what will happen with you. And uncertainty. Uh, Uncertainty disturbs your mind also. You're a psychiatrist, I'm sure you know what uncertainty does to a normal human. So it is what's difficult, but there was a great motivation, in the shape of Imran Khan in front of us, because the way he was fighting, the way his motivation, his determination, his commitment, everything was so exemplary. So we were automatically, motivated whenever we see him. Whenever I go to Adiala to see him, if normally you go to Adiala and meet a prisoner there, you will never see him smiling or motivated or determined. But whenever you go and see the great Khan, you always see someone who is determined, who is committed, who is, his face reflects that, you know uh, he's ready to fight anything. He's not afraid of anything. So Khan Saab gives you so much motivation that you take great pride in this fact that you're standing with Imran Khan. and you were part of a fight which will be remembered for centuries to come. Because what Imran Khan has done, no one else was able to do it. If you look at the history of Pakistan, so we are this fight. We are his soldiers. This is, I think, the greatest feeling I ever had as a lawyer, because I'm fighting for Imran Khan on legal front. I think, although many cases, I've won many cases in my life, but I think this is the best legal fight I will remember for the rest of my life, one for the history. So fighting for Imran Khan, I think this is the biggest feeling and the best feeling you have in your legal career.
Well, it's very heartening to know that one political leader, a status of Imran Khan, is really withstanding all of this oppression and tyranny and more or less fascist tactics. And I can see that you take huge pride of being a disciple or a follower of Imran Khan. So, and you have expressed yourself very, very articulately. So, well done for that. So, with that, I say thank you very much for your time, and you really enlightened us, all of us, and me. And your viewpoint was very clear. So, best of luck, and we'll see how this political
Thank
saga
you.
unfolds further. So, once again, there is a political acrobats going on between and amongst different pillars of the state, Supreme Court, Election Commission, the deep state of Pakistan, and the Pakistani government. So we don't know what's going to unfold and whether the quorum of the National Assembly will complete for the impending, rumored constitutional amendments or the bill that the government wants to bring in, which will have a massive effect on Pakistan, especially on the judiciary, and it will affect the progress of the democracy in Pakistan. As we hear more, we will come back with the latest. And until then, please stay tuned and share, like, and subscribe Quews.news.